Alright, I think everything's updated. Title, good. Stream, good. Everything looks good. Cool. So I haven't done this. I think I only skipped last week. I forget if I played this deck 2 weeks ago. That might have been the time I got like triple Terminus. But honestly, I don't remember that well. But we're going to mess around with some Modern today. I was kind of feeling the itch. Vaguely wanted to play this, mess around with this format. Have not played in a while. Tested Vintage yesterday and playing a ton of Legacy to prep for Eternal Weekend, but good time to just relax. I still do just enjoy a lot of the play patterns of this deck. This deck is pretty sweet. So, just gonna, jam a league with it. I think I'm going to, probably after this league, we have, what, 1, 2, 3 more weeks before Eternal Weekend, so I'm probably going to stream Modern, close to 0 times after today. Just prepping Legacy and then maybe prepping Vintage a tiny bit if I end up actually playing that. But there's also a couple of things that have changed in Modern since last I played this format. Namely that, apparently Dredge is real good, which means I want more Graveyard Hate. I've not changed any of my deck lists. I should probably edit those as well. I just, want another Rest in Peace in here, I think. And cut... Just, never actually tested that card. I'm not certain I ever put that into play. But there was also, I guess Bant Spirits is the other big thing, but we're pretty fine in that matchup. They're a slower aggro deck. We have, a Worship and a Cellular Wreckage, Fatal Pushes, Bear Blossom, Pontiff, Zealous, that sort of thing. I guess I'm unsure amount of BGX that's out there. There's a chance that I'm supposed to, swap out these Gideons and then maybe one other sideboard card for just a Lingering Souls. Or even, maybe play a Surgical Extraction along 3 reps. Rest in Peace, because Surgical is reasonable against some of the other decks in Modern, but I don't know. There's a lot of decisions to be made. And Modern's a hard format to sideboard for sure. I could probably cut this combo, but people just love to play Burn online, so maybe I just want to keep Burn cards, even though the Burn matchup's very good. Matching Rest in Pieces at least if I'm only playing 3. So I could play a Surgical. Because Surgical's a Rest in Peace, except it's a lot worse against Dredge, obviously, but it is a lot more versatile than Rest in Peace is. I don't like Rest in Peace in a lot of matchups, especially 3 of them. I think it's explicitly Dredge, KCI, maybe Storm that I'm bringing in that many Rest in Pieces. I guess other decks that use the graveyard, stuff like Hollow One, I might only bring in 2. I guess Bridgevine's another one where I board in 3. But I need to edit these deck lists. Where are you? My decks. Hello? Internet? Or whatever, that's not working. Edit the Cardboard Live deck first, I guess. So I cut the Karn and added a Rest in Peace is my preliminary deck building decision. There's maybe an argument to going up to 2 Settles over the Worship, just because Worship is really bad against Dredge and Settle can actually win games. I might do that. I could definitely buy that. Maybe by just having 2 Settle the Wreckage. All right. Edit this deck too. We went up to 3 Rest in Pieces. Down to 0 Karns, 0 worships and 2 settles? No, not 12 settles. Alright, I kind of don't hate this. This seems okay. So now our sideboard playing against Dredge is what? Three rips, 2 settles, and like Pontiff and Zealous are very medium cards against Dredge, but also bring them in. Seems like it might be okay, but Dredge has typically been a rough matchup for this deck. It is like draw, rest in peace, or bust a lot of the time. All right, deck list should be edited. Let me know if if I messed up the stream, the cardboard live or anything. Play Legacy. I played Legacy on Monday. I haven't played Modern in a while. I played Vintage yesterday, which was a treat. Anyway. I kind of want to like overboard for Dredge, just because I've been seeing it a ton from other people that play Modern online. I'm not sure if that's where I want to be, but you do have to play to your metagame. Burn, blue-white, humans, Tron, Bant Spirits, Hardened Scales, Junt Hollow 1. Dredge isn't even on like the top of the... Oh, here it is. It's starting to rise from the ranks. I could buy myself playing a Surgical. Modern, so good. Yeah, I'm mostly just like prepping for Eternal Weekend, but I think this is gonna be my like last day. I usually try to stream Modern on Wednesdays, but I've been skimping on it definitely because I was testing for the big tournament last week. So I wanted to give one more Modern stream before I like really deep dive into Legacy again to prep for Eternal Weekend. I also feel like I just really like my list right now for Legacy, so I'm like I can like relax on testing it and ironing out all the kinks and stuff. Do I want to play a Singleton Surgical? I guess I kind of do. What am I cutting? Probably a Nig1 card. Probably Pontiff. That's probably fine. I don't hate this. Edit 0 Pontiff 1 Surgical Extraction. And then sideboard, cut the Pontiff, add Surgical Extraction. Alright, cool. I'm like down with this list, I think. People on Reddit constantly talk about Mana Screen in the black-white list. Are they right or just whiny? It's a little like, obviously, people on the internet are going to just overblow everything that they ever talk about because it's the internet. There are definitely mana issues with this deck. That's definitely a downside, is that sometimes you will lose to your mana, but it's definitely overblown. It's just sometimes you don't like cast your Tidehollow Scholars. Most of the other cards are relatively easy to cast. Tidehollow Scholar just like makes the mana pretty rough with 8 colorless lands and a black-white card that you sometimes want to be playing on turn 2. Oh yeah, that was definitely the last time I had played Modern, was the time I got triple Terminus in match 5. But I also think people just don't mulligan aggressively enough, which is a thing that can be an issue for players. Being able to assess their opening hands is a very important skill that not a lot of people are super good at. It's like keeping like a garbage fire of a 7 is something I see a lot of people do. Wow, this is not really a garbage fire at all. We have double Arbiter, double Ghost Quarter. And we're on the play. I think it's just like Snapkeep. We are missing black notably, but usually, like, Any hand with Aether Vial and stuff is typically a pretty easy keep. Oh, Inquisition. Well, we have second Arbiter at least. But what is Swamp Inquisition? Like Mardu Pyro? Mardu Pyro's an awful matchup. Looking into getting my first deck, and they've been putting me off the black-white list. Well, the good thing about like building black-white taxes is that if you don't like it, it's relatively easy to build into the other taxes iterations, except for green-white. It's really... What is this? Why am I putting my single trigger on the stack? Weird. Wonder if I'm supposed to run out Arbiter. I don't think so. They do know it's in my hand, but I'd rather try to, like, try to set up double Ghost Quarter with an Arbiter in play or something. Also requires knowledge of the meta to determine good keeps and lines of play. Decks like Burning can be basically played. That's definitely true. This deck does take a lot of practice and knowledge of whatever your opponent is doing. Oh, it is Jund. I just, like, naturally assume things are Mardu, but I forget that the BGX decks are kind of making a comeback. So if they just, like, play Tarmogoyf if they lose the game, right? That has to be another... This seems like not a good plan, unless the other 4 cards in my opponent's hand are lands. They know I have a second Ghost Quarter and an Arbiter. Why is this happening? Whenever there's a single trigger on this deck, it just automatically puts itself on the stack before, right? Why do I have to click on this now? Oh, we just drew a third Ghost Quarter, too. I want to play Dungeons Bad vs. Dredge in Toronto. I want to play Adnospacelf against Shown Humans. Yeah, that's definitely the trouble of Modern, is that, like, there's no deck that... There are a lot of decks that will just, like, lose to something else that's sitting out there in the format somewhere. I mean, you can always build your deck to not lose to Dredge, at least. Like, if you don't want to lose to Dredge, you can not lose to Dredge. Just 4 Leyline into the Voids and some, like, Nile Spellbombs. It's gonna get really annoying. That I just have to I have to click on this every time. It's like a bug in the new update or something? Or is it, like, an intended feature in the new update? I see we're playing a white deck that's trash again. Hey, different format. Same trash. Ooh, Displacer's a good draw. Real talk, though, that white trash deck that we played yesterday was a lot of fun. It was kind of hilarious. I have no idea why my opponent just, like, tapped out for Tarmogoyf there. I'm just gonna blink it, right? They just don't have any mana. They have a single forest. That's it. I just tap it down. Untap Ghost Quarter this forest. Like, why did they tap out for this Tarmogoyf? There's no reason to do that, opponent. You knew I had a second Arbiter and 2 Ghost Quarters in my hand. BGX is typically a pretty rough matchup, but... when your opponent just, like, taps out and lets you double strip mine them, then sure, I mean, I'll take it. I think my opponent's just on straight black-green. We didn't see them fetch for any red. They could have just, like, naturally drawn their swamp and their forest, but I'm just gonna board as if. I don't like Rip as much because I don't have Eternal Scourges anymore. I'll think about it. Says someone who has E&T. This deck is kind of trash. Like, if you're trying to play Death and Taxes in Modern, you could probably be doing better things. I play this deck because it's fun. I don't play it because it's, like, top-tier competitive viability. wonder if I'm supposed to just board out Arbiters against BGX now because they have Assassin's Trophy. I'm supposed to, like, I usually cut Vials, though. I definitely don't have 8 cards to bring in. Reminds me trying to make a Springjack Shepherd and Elish Norn package work. I don't even know what Springjack Shepherd does, Slasco. I have absolutely no clue what that card does. Maybe I can just, like, play around Assassin's Trophy and just still board out my Vials instead. Got, like, a Wisp like that. I'm not sure. I don't think I want to bring in Rips. If my opponent's also on, like, Grim Flares over Bobs, then the Rip starts to get more tempting. Makes Goats equal to your White Chroma, of course. Yes, that one. And then you follow up with, like, Elish Norn, and then you attack them with your 2-3 Goats or whatever. Try something like this. Resideboard for game 3. Oh, nice. So we have 2 Leonin Arbiters. So if my opponent has Assassin's Trophy, we can just get Stone Rained a bunch. It'd be better than, like, having 2 Vials here, though. With 2 Vials, this hand is very bad against the Thoughtseize Inquisition deck. Oh, they're on Junk. They could be on... We also don't know if they're on Rock, Splash, Lingering Souls, or just, like, straight Junk with paths and stuff. Which we'll try to find out this game to reassess for game 3. Either way, I think I want Rips, because now Tarmogoyf and Lingering Souls gets a lot more tempting to turn off. Could be Suicide Zoo. No, they played an Inquisition, right? They played an Inquisition last game. Also, the whole Occam's Razor of just, like, it's probably best to just assume the most likely deck. Wow. Thoughtseize Shalai. Oh, sick draw. Man, this thing just gets Assassin's Trophy now. Wow, that sucks. Man, I should just cut the Gideon and... Cut the Gideons and the Bitter Blossom for just Lingering Souls now. Assassin's Trophy makes a lot of my tech a lot worse against BGX specifically. If they just, like, leave up 2 mana, we can't play any good cards on turn 2. Yeah, what am I supposed to do now? Play Arbiter, get Stone Rained. I mean, I guess the best plan is play Arbiter, get Stone Rained, because we just have 4 lands in our hand, so if they want to use a removal spell for 2 mana Stone Rain on me, then I'm kind of fine with that. Just protect the Bitter Blossom. Like, we have plenty of lands to hit land drops in the following turns, so... I'm down for getting Stone Rained, I guess. Getting Stone Rained means they don't kill my guys. Oh, I think they are just on... Also, A, they don't have Assassin's Trophy. B, I think they're on, like, just straight Junk. I don't know if they play a Temple Garden in, like, the Lingering Soul Splash. I can see, like, 2 Shock lands, though. Although... Yeah, it'd have to be these 2. I feel like Liliana the Veil me. Be pretty bummed. Oh, they do have Assassin's Trophy. But they kill my guy, so I can search for a land at least. Cool. I guess I just go 2-drop into 2-drop. It's just the most mana efficient play I can make. Well, this guy knows my hand, right? So he might not want to Assassin's Trophy my land. He might just want to use it as a removal spell, which is fine. Why would he not wait till you draw stuff if he's going to do that? I mean, yeah, it's like maybe draw the other land or something. Playing around like Resto? No, I don't have enough lands. Don't have nearly enough lands. Alright. Well, we don't have any cards in their exile. Ooh, now we might. To set up for our Strangler next turn. Oh, that's a good one to hit. It's a pretty good one to hit. Although now you can get the tracker out of range of my Strangler, right? Play land if he double cracks clues. Hopefully he finds like a spell to cast instead, so we can eat it. Otherwise we have to like set up trying to flicker it and then eat it or something. But it only draws like 900 cards. Oh no, he's cracking multiple clues. Not great. So this one doesn't require me to put it on the stack. Can I set this up in some capacity? If I draw a land, I can set up Flicker Wispel Strangler. So I could just play Displacer out and then try to set up for something. I guess let's attack and see what happens first. If you go like he wants to trade Thought Knot for Tracker, I'm all for it. I guess maybe like just Flicker as my own Thought Knot might be okay, but then we're not setting up like the Strangler kill Tracker at all. My opponent is pretty low though. They're at 8. Just try to set up flyers to finish them off. Maybe Thought Seizing is the right idea. Kind of don't hate that, to be honest. So I was sandbagging this land in case they played like Liliana and plussed it, but now I might just play this land out so I can double spell if I draw another land. Wow, opponent has drawn all lands and this Lingering Souls that is now exiled, so that's pretty good. Lingering Souls would have definitely put a kink in my plan. If we draw a land, we can also just Displacer, Flicker the Tracker, and attack for lethal. Fatal Push Thought Knot, sure. Now we can no longer do that plan. But we do just have an armada of flyers. My opponent needs to find, like, desperately needs to find Lingering Souls to stay alive. Do they have Lingering Souls? Oh, push Wisp, okay. Probably need to start chump blocking this tracker now. What did my opponent play for land that turn? They played the forest. I have 6. He played the Shambling Vent. That makes sense because they can start trying to gain life. That's not super helpful to them right now. I'm just going to discard the Strangler. It's not eating anything right now. Les Alex, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Kind of surprised they ran this out before cracking the clue, because this literally just seems not super good right now. I'm definitely going to block with a Fairy Rogue here. Moon base. Oh, cool. Good to Good to see ya. Ooh, Tarmogoyf, that's kind of scary. Again, not drawing the land. Would have loved to draw a land to, like, just flicker this Tireless Tracker and eat it with Strangler. I'm trying to figure out if I even, like, take this Lily off the table. Like, what is my plan here? Flicker the Tireless Tracker, block the Tarmogoyf? I guess I attack Lily then, and just pass. I'll just take it off the table. Especially with this Shambling Vent, it's going to get progressively harder and harder. Flicker Goyf, kill Lily, attack, and dodge removal. Well, attack for 4? Put them to 2? What's my plan after that? Like, die to removal spell? Oh, kill Goyf, attack. I don't know. I don't need to flicker Goyf right now. Then I just pass. It's really not great that we're not hitting this other land drop, but I'm gonna place that Overgrown too, and we now know nothing in their hand. Oh, Lingering Souls, that's rude. Oh, now we draw the land. Finally. So we can take this tracker off the board, just so we, like, stop dying to it. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So I can either blink a thing or just, like, deploy another Displacer or something. I think I'm going to attack with this Displacer. Force. It basically, I think, just kills the Spirit. It'd be wonderful if it killed 3. Well, no, because they could quad block. How long do you usually give to receive a package from eBay before you report? I don't usually order from eBay, so I don't know. Is there a chance my opponent's, like, just considering killing this, maybe? Nope, they're just cracking a clue, sure. Oh, so they're assessing their options. Deciding, like, if they want to block, if they want to, like, quad block. Quad blocking seems, like, kind of absurd. Yeah, well, deal. We just play second Displacer and kill 3 of their spirits now. Alright, now we have lethal on board. It's not quite. They have a shambling event. Second tracker. Sure. Opponent drawing a lot of magic cards. And now if we want to process this tireless tracker, I have to like give them back a Lingering Souls. Liliana, sure. I could like tick up now, take my only card. Definitely blocking the Goyf. Untap. We can like kill the tracker. The best draw would just be like another Flicker Wisp. Flicker the Goyf, eat the tracker. We don't have to process a fucking Lingering Souls. No attacks. Because they really don't want to die. Alright, a land, not super helpful, but we get 2 blinks on this Displacer, so it's definitely not nothing. If he attacked, he died, right? Maybe? Do I have lethal? I guess I blink, attack? Yeah, I guess... Do I still have lethal? No, I can only put them to 1, actually. If I, like, blink Charmglyph, blink tracker, kill them. I also didn't realize they actually had 0 cards in hand. I could force them to block with this tracker, right? It only goes up to a 4/3. Kill the spirit, tap down the Goyf. Trying to figure out how this turn best breaks my way. Yeah, it's really annoying that like the only cards they have in exile are these Lingering Souls. Just swing flyers. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Like maybe kill the spirit then swing flyers, or maybe just swing the flyers. Because we're gonna get 2 blinks next turn, or this coming turn cycle. Yeah, I think we just try to set up for like a next turn lethal where we tap down, untap, tap down some more things. Unfortunately, my opponent's gonna like draw a bunch of cards, which is why I kind of wanted my opponent to like not be able to crack this fetch. But they're already gonna have a bunch of mana and 2 clues, so I think I just like let them block with the spirit if they want. Just attack my opponent's face. Yeah, there's definitely a problem of my opponent having like 4+ cards in their hand by the end of their own turn. The land just gets eaten by Lily, and if we draw another land, we can have triple blink, provided this Displacer miraculously lives. But it does go to 4. If they had like Fatal Push here, that'd actually be really bad for me. Now they're making me nervous. Oh, thank God. Sack creature. Easy sack the tapped Fairy Rogue. What did they... No, they sacked, yeah. Opponent digging deep. I wonder if they're like digging for like a Damnation or something. Take over the game with Liliana. No, we have a Bitter Blossom. Never mind. Damnation would not get them very far. It would let them actually, with the Shambling event, maybe Damnation would actually just be able to kill me. They just like get to gain life and raise the Bitter Blossom, and I just die in 8 turns. I mean, the less mana they have, the better for me. The more I like my odds. They need to kill my Strangler and my Displacer now? Sorcerer's Spike. Well, that's kind of a weird sideboard card, and also... Response. Tap these guys down. Thank you very much. Now I can F6. Yeah, sweet, they're just dead. We did it. We beat the not very good matchup. Mostly because of Bitter Blossom, honestly. Bitter Blossom still is nuts if they don't have the answer for it. I do love Bitter Blossom in the sideboard. Less so with Assassin's Trophy existing, but still. Where the heck is Junk? Probably have not played against that deck a lot. Junk. And there's Jund. Jund Death Shadow. Jund Soul Flare. This is a first for this data. Junk. Wait, 0. Do I have it as Abzan? Yeah, I guess I've just never played against Junk. Gonna add to the bottom of the list here. 2-0'd. 91 wins. Still not certain about that last turn. There's like a chance that if we like aggressively force them to kill off that tracker, they don't get to draw 2 extra cards. I mean, it didn't matter because we did kill them, but there's a chance that they just like cracked a bunch of clues, found 2 removal spells, and just I tap down their guys but don't quite have lethal. I'm not sure. This hand is very close to bad, and I think it's just bad. On the play, if we had like one more thing to do, I'd be okay with it, but Vile Displacer into nothing doesn't make me feel very good about this hand. Well, this hand doesn't make me feel good about this hand either. I think we're gonna keep Scryland at the top. Nope, just kidding. We're gonna lose. This hand has a lot more like playable cards in it, but we'll draw things. Ooh, Tron. Alright, land. Shit. Well, if that 7 definitely wasn't gonna beat Tron. My opponent just have like Natty Tron. Nice. Karn. Oh, wait, nothing. Take a peek at least. Before I die horribly. Just like Ugin, Ulamog. Well, now I get to take a card forever, I guess. Well, they just kept Natty Tron and nothing! Well, we're still gonna lose, but it's more hilarious now. Opponent trying to cast their Sylvan Scrying? There we go. Go find there. Wow, greedy. Finding Tower over finding just like Ugin's Sanctum of Ugin? Is that what it's called? Well, taxing and arbitering them doesn't seem very good, so I think we're just gonna like try and put as much power into play as possible. And hope they just whiff for the next fucking 5 turns. And their deck that is impossible to whiff with. It was this Ulamog. Nice. Deal. I'm out of there. Happy to be anywhere else. Bring in Stonies, bring in the Surgical. It's like sideboarding Vile out a bunch today. What's another? Could have sort of started displacing our Wisp and Flickering Mind if they bricked a few more times. Like, we also would have had to top deck specifically Eldrazi Temple, right? Oh yeah, if they bricked a few more times. We didn't have any colorless source right there, so we would have had to have drawn a colorless source or something, but we could have just tried to keep them off Tron, but they also just had enough lands in their hand to start just hitting natural Tron around turn 7-ish. Definitely was not favored. Yeah, we had Concealed Courtyard, Shambling Vents, and we drew a Godless Shrine. What the fuck do I bring in as a 4th card? I like to leave in Stranglers nowadays. Everyone's on Thragtusk, and it's actually kind of hard to be a Thragtusk, because you can't really flicker it out of the way. So at least Strangler takes it off the board. And you can flicker away a 3/3. I guess we can bring in Combo. Sometimes they just, like, cantrip a bunch. You can deal them some damage. I don't hate that sideboard plan. This hand is, not good. This hand is good. Keepable. We have Arbiter and Scholar. Deal. And Ghost Quarter. Deal. So I think, depending on what my opponent does, I'm going to lead with, like, our Vile's not better than Stranglers. Viles are, like, kind of a liability in this matchup, because you're boarding in Stony, and also they get swept away by, Oblivion Stones a lot of the time. I guess we have to lead with Arbiter, so my opponent doesn't just get to crack this. But if they have Spatial Contortion, we can get pretty punished. But we just don't want them to crack this. And, like I was talking about, Stranglers can clear out Thragtusk, which they, like, bring in easily 2 to 3 Thragtusks all the time. Alright, so we're gonna play Quarter and then play Scholar. See if they get punished for, like, not casting it immediately or something. Also going to attack here. Yeah, so then we kill the mine. They'll have the second mine in hand. Oh, nope, they just had Natty Tron again? How rude. Yeah, definitely got punished for not spatial contortioning on their own turn there. There's, like, a lot of just minor things that people can fuck up in this matchup. Unfortunately, now they do get to go to get Tron again, just because they can play Power Plant Crack map for the mine. And also if we don't hit a third land. At least we hit a third land. What up, Steez? This is not Legacy Chylith. This is probably, like, one of the last times I'm going to be playing Modern until after Eternal Weekend. Hopefully they have, like, a Worm Coil or something. We can beat that. Nothing's pretty good, too. When is Eternal Weekend? First weekend of November. We really... Drawing, like, another temple would be sick, so we can try to, like, Tide Hollow Displacer lock them? Do I just, like, play heavily into an O-Stone? They would have cast it this turn, I think. I think we just try to get as much damage on the table as possible. These Displacers are also immune to Ugin, so it's, like, exactly all his dust that punishes us. If I don't have anything else to do with the mana the following turn, I'll start flickering the Tidal just to possibly take a card that's scarier than Worldbreaker, because we can path the Worldbreaker out of the way and they get to, like, kill a land or whatever. Displacers are immune to All's Dust too. Yeah. Was I saying All's Dust? I meant O-Stone if I was saying that. So now they're at 3, so we can just beat a Worldbreaker if they have something scarier in their hand. So yeah, O-Stone is what I meant. Sorry. Oh, look, they drew an O-Stone. Do they have enough mana to... No, because they can't even actually cast Worldbreaker unless they Ghost Quarter themselves, so... Because they can actually Worldbreak my Tidehall and get back their O-Stone, but I don't think they can crack it after that. So, heck yes, taking that O-Stone. Float 3, Ghost Quarter themselves. That's still only 11 mana? I feel like they... Oh, wait, no, they have another power plant in hand. Yeah, this shouldn't... I don't think this works. They're one... No, they're more than 1 mana short. Wait. Yeah. They're definitely, like, way too short. They can cast an O-Stone, but they're at 3. I don't even have to path it for lethal. But I will. Gotta stick it to the man. The Tron man. Alright. I think I'm just gonna run it back. Felt fine. Not great. Being on the draw against Tron is just way more terrifying than being on the play. It's just very hard to win sometimes. Most of your hate lines up at 2 mana. So, like, playing an Arbiter on turn 2, they just, like, crack the map in response, or they've already cast a Sylvan Scrying. You just, like, don't get there in time often. If they have turn 3, which they always do, so. Well, this hand would be good if we had a second land, but this is just a 1-lander. Let's find, like, our 1 Surgical and a Ghost Quarter. Well, this hand's about as good as I can ask for. I don't think I want another land. Alright, now we... This hand is dope. Unfortunately, this hand is on the draw, so we might just need to fire off a Ghost Quarter next turn. If they just go, like, second Urza's Land, crack Chromatic, Sylvan Scrying. Hey, we can actually set up the Leonin Arbiter, because they don't necessarily have turn 3 Tron. They have to, like, spend 2 mana, crack the map, and then they'll have access to 2 off a power plant. Which, coincidentally, does pay for Arbiter tax, which is kind of annoying, but if they, like, cast something else, then we get to get them with this Ghost Quarter. Oh, they also, like, can't crack this map because of the Arbiter, you know. They'll just, like, have the power plant, though, so it's fine. Yeah, see? Easy game, easy life. Yeah, it seems like the relatively safe play. They also just have this map, so if I Ghost Quarter them, they can just rebuild Tron. Obviously, I'm supposed to play the Thalia, knowing that they're just always going to have natural Tron, so to play around this Karn Liberated. So I could like Thalia Ghost Quarter doesn't seem super good because the exhibition map's in play, but might be my best line. My only other line is cast a Wasteland Strangler. You joke there, but there's some real merit to play Thalia that turn. I don't think there was like actual real merit. If there wasn't an exhibition map, there's a talk that could be had, but I think taxing the card that's in play is way better than playing around like the possibility of them having Natron. Like the map is the easy play, and if you can just tax this map so they can't crack it to make Tron, it's just like way better than playing a Thalia and then hoping that you get something in hand. Like the guaranteed value on board is just way easier. My opponent just had like Natron turn 3 all 3 games. The turn after you get to Arbiter Ghost Quarter on the same turn. Yeah, yes, that's true, but if I don't play Arbiter there, my opponent can just use 2 mana, crack the map, play the power plant or whatever, assuming they don't have Natron in their hand. And then they'll have just 2 mana up, so I can't, like, they can just pay the Arbiter tags. Well, all these cards kind of suck. I guess these are more of a combo, because... yeah, I'll kill the Wisp. I think the Thalia play is, like, straight wrong unless I know what my opponent's hand is. Like, the actual only thing we get punished by that turn is natural Tron into Karn, versus, like, playing around the card that is very easily visible. Don't they always have it, though? I think my opponent did have Natron all 3 games. I could be wrong. I forget if they had it. I think they had it all of them. I'm trying to remember if they had it, like, game 2. Cool. It's like, they don't need to make Tron yet. Sure. Because it turns me off of, like, casting Thought-Knots here. Wonder if there's merit to just getting this O-Stone out of here and killing my own guy. Just to make sure that they can't, like, Karn minus on the O-Stone or something. Because we're just never going to beat this O-Stone if we let them have it. Probably just kill my Thalia. They are just going to plus up the Karn, though, and take my Wisp, so it's not like I can Wisp the title to get more stuff. But my opponent's playing mana. We're not taxing anything. I think I am just going to, like, kill my Thalia to get rid of this O-Stone. What we do is draw the third Wisp? Yeah, my opponent already has one on there. Okay, that one. Now we get to attack the Karn for 1 a turn, right? Yeah, +4. Solid. Does my opponent have Ulamog? Pretty good. Pretty good. I know I have Green Tron on this list. I've played against it, like, not super often, which is weird, because it's a very popular deck right now. But I've definitely played against it before. Oh. The answer is exactly once. Took him to 3. And we continue. I wonder if you're supposed to keep. I'm still trying to figure out if, like, I'm not a Tron expert. Are you supposed to keep like Nat Tron and nothing? Probably pretty reasonable. Your deck is like all cantrips and payoff, right? And they had 2 Sylvan Scryings, so they can beat like land destruction spells or whatever. Your opponent has like a single Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter, you can still beat it. I'm inclined to say yes, you're supposed to keep that, but I don't know. I think Natron always has something. Yeah, exactly. Since like the entire deck is lands, cantrips, and payoffs. Oof, this is a lot of Aether Vials. Oof, this is a lot of mana that doesn't cast any of my spells. If I want to draw, I might keep this. With like a Ghost Quarter to pair with Arbiter and 3 looks at a colored source. 3 Tron pieces and 4 more land search effects. Do you think you snap Mole? Not sure, because they kept like Natural Tron, Ghost Quarter. We didn't see their hand until like turn 2 or 3, but so my mulligan to 6, so I'm happy with mulligan to 5. Yeah, this is a fine 5. I think I want to top this. I'd rather turn 2 Thalias, depending on what my opponent's start is. There are a lot of decks I'd rather play turn 2 Thalia than Arbiter. Like against Burn. Oh, nope. Dredge? We could just lose against Dredge game 1, right? Oh, no, it's that Mono-Red Steamkin deck. I don't know any of the cards that this deck plays. I should probably look it up, but I'm just gonna not instead. They got the Steamkin. I really want a thing. So what's this? It has 3 or more instances or sorceries. It comes back. It's a 3/2. It's kind of scary. I feel like this deck's not going to be doing a lot of searching. I feel like maybe I should look up a deck list of this deck. I know it's like rituals and burn spells. I don't know what else is going on in this deck. But I do know I would love to find like a Tide Hollow or a Path. Activate my Strangler. Not quite, bud. I think I want to leave up a Flicker rather than play an Arbiter. You can just Flicker this at 2 counters to, like, not give them a bunch of mana. I think I'm down for just waiting. This Thalia appears to be severely hampering my opponent's plans. That's fine. Spend Rift Bolt. Yes! Oh, glorious day. This deck plays a Rift Bolt. I'm gonna flicker the Swift Spear because we're just straight up gonna eat this. We're straight up just gonna kill this Runaway Steamkin. So I'd rather just wait. It just prevents the same or different amounts of damage, right? So I just prevent 2 here, so it doesn't matter actually. Yeah, I'm just flicker the Steamkin even though I'm gonna kill it, because I just take less. But that is amazing. Thank you, opponent, for playing Rift Bolt in your deck. I well and truly appreciate your efforts. God, I love doing this. Goodbye, Runaway Steamkin. Goodbye, your Rift Bolt. Just crunch. Now we have Lethal on board. Bolt my Thalia. Alright. Got another one. Maybe I'm supposed to just Thought Knot them, though. Nah, fuck it. Just play more Thalias. Also this Arbiter. This matchup feels pretty good for E&T. Like, strategies like this are typically, like, inherently inconsistent in nature, just that, like, they're very volatile. Alright, maybe I'll pull up an actual deck list. Alright. These are all screenshots of killing people with the list, but I just want the... Oh, here we go. Alright. Gut shots, lootings, lava spikes, bolts, desperate writs, runaway steamkin. Oh, this is a different variation. My opponent's playing monster Swift Spears. It's probably been updated. This one, the one that I found, looks pretty old. Arclight Phoenixes. It doesn't look like... Oh, the deck has Bedlam Reveler. Maybe Rest in Peace is worth it. Let's go to sideboard first. This deck is 100% mountains, so... Out Arbiters. In Comball. In Fatal Pushes. Risk factors, huh? I wonder if Rest in Pieces are good enough. Against Arclight. Flashbacks on lootings and Bedlam Revelers. Oh, they're sideboarding Blood Moons? That's really rude. Gotta like lean on these Aether Files pretty hard. They're also probably setting in a Braids. I wonder if Settle's good enough. Settle's probably better if my opponent's also on those Swift Spears, because they'll have Phoenixes, Steamkins, and Swift Spears to hit. Bring like 2 rips. Cut. Some Wisps. Wisps seem pretty anemic and slow. Like they don't block they don't block anything well. They do flicker Steamkins, but like so does Displacer. And Displacer's just like a bigger body. Also easier to cast through a Blood Moon. We have Vial, we have Removal Spell. I think we keep this. We also have Basic Land, notably. I might end up needing to, like, Ghost Quarter myself to cast a Fatal Push at some point, but... Oh, well, sure. We have an Aether Vial and Basic, so... Oh, damn it, the stupid Aether Vial thing. Well, we hope they don't have, like, an Abrade for this Aether Vial. Otherwise, it's gonna go south real fast. I always path one of my own guys. Sure. They're just, like, cycling. They keep this on the back of turn 2 Blood Moon. Discard Arclight and Fiery Temper, sure. I think you can process Fiery Tempers in response to their Madness trigger. Oh, my opponent did cast 3 instant Sorcerer's Waves this turn. Cool. Guess we're pathing that. One of the reasons I don't like playing this deck anymore. Yeah, luckily, like, the Blood Moon decks aren't super common in the format anymore, except for Mardu Pyro, which in and of itself has been on a downswing recently. But yeah, this deck is pretty not great against Blood Moon. This bug is really gonna bug me. Ooh, second Aether Vial. It's a good draw. Fortunately, like, this Fatal Push is just never getting cast until we find our one-off basic swamp. Fortunately, we have guys at least. And we can even take a Vow to Forward Thought Knot them. Would not be surprised if it was. Yeah, this is fine. Not going off. Mardu Pyro is also just a... Yeah, Mardu Pyro is also just an atrocious matchup. They don't need to cast Blood Moon to murder you in that matchup, for sure. Ooh, that's scary. That is definitely horrifying. I wonder if that cast was worth it. Like, we could have just done this next turn, right? It's essentially free. We super dead? I don't know. They drew 3 cards, which is really good, but we definitely just beat, like, the current board. Really? I just have to click on all of these Aether Vial triggers now? That is super obnoxious. Found a mountain. Which means we can cast an Eldrazi Displacer. I guess I could have actually, like, Flicker Wished out the Blood Moon. And then, like, Fatal Push Steamkin. I didn't really think about that. I can always, like, do that next turn. If I so desire. A second Steamkin. Sure. Man, double blocking seems really risky with my opponent having 2 cards in hand. I think I'm down for just single blocking the Steamkin. thing doesn't get bigger, right? Oh no, does it go to maximum 3 counters? Fewer than 3 count. Okay, yeah. So I can just like Flicker Wisp the Steamkin before damage, which is fine. Next up gives us good Orza stuff because I've had mana issues with this deck a ton. Except Strangler. Strangler's great, but I also just like love Eldrazi Displacer. Eldrazi Displacer is nuts in like every Taxus deck I've played. I'm not going off. They have 0 cards in hand now. Definitely gonna take this Vial up to 4. God, I hate this. Really hope that's a bug and not like a new feature. Oh, that's almost castable. This thing is just attacking because it's definitely not blocking. It's like no way in hell we actually snag a sorcery here, right? This deck is just mono instance. Yeah. Are we just dead? They could like draw a card too. Uh-oh. Mouse? Mouse, work with me. God damn it. My mouse didn't actually die there. Dang it, mouse. Yep, mouse is dead. Alright, time to play with the dang trackpad. Don't really want to give them back either of those cards. So I'm at 5. I think I just have to like block and hope they don't have 2 instants to cast or something. Give them back this fucking Arclight Phoenix that's also gonna kill me. Gotta get lucky to win this, so maybe they have 2 lands in hand in their 16 land deck. Gotta hate this. Trackpad garbage. So close to settling their wreckage. I wonder if Settle Wreckage is not worth it just because it's so hard to cast under a Blood Moon. Probably also just better on the play. Other ideas. Maybe I do want the third rip. My opponent's deck actually seems like pretty graveyard intensive. The 3/4 guy is pretty scary. Just cut all the wisps. Actually, maybe cut like a Displacer. Displacer's pretty bad under a Blood Moon. I just want enough incentive to be mono white. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing, is that I like the color splashes a lot more right now. Just mono white feels like it doesn't have the tools to beat a lot of the decks in the format. Well, we have turn 2 Thought Knot. Guess I'm supposed to, like, snap this one off. My opponent can't turn 1 Blood Moon me, so... What up, Static? Ever whipped a moon to free up lands for a Displacer trigger? Yeah, I've whisked moons to, like, free up lands for random stuff. I've whisked a moon and then ate the moon with a Wasteland Strangler before. Ooh, Rest in Peace is pretty cool. Good old turn 2 Thought Knot buddy. So they have double Steamkin, Fiery Temper Bolt, Manamorphose. Guess I just take a Steamkin? Not really scared of most of it. Maybe I'm tempted to take a Lightning Bolt here. I like beat a Steamkin, right? But then they like untap Manamorphose, Fiery Temper my Displacer away. The only path 1. It's probably just right to take a Steamkin. That's pretty good. We can just strangle this Steamkin right now. Move on with our life. Next turn we can even like Displacer and have a flicker up. So even if they kill it, we at least get some value out of the Displacer first. Manamorphose, sure. And they play the Mountain. This is just like Fiery Temper, Wasteland Strangler. Yeah, sick. Now we get to like displace and hopefully take this Bolt too. Anger of the Gods and Lightning Bolt. Well, I'm kind of scared that they can, like, they'll pair Anger of the Gods with another Bolt effect to kill my Thought Knot too, so I'm tempted to just take the Anger here instead of the Bolt. They get to Bolt the Displacer, but they're going to kill a Displacer anyway. Does, like, prevent them from doing more stuff, but their hand doesn't really do a lot, so I think I'm just going to take the Anger out of safety concerns. Makes it much harder for them to kill this Thought Knot Seer, which will just clock them over the next 3 turns. This does allow them to, like, Blood Moon me, too, if they... But we're not casting a lot anymore. We already have the line for the Rip and for, like, a path. How much would it suck if they drew a second Anger off of that Manamorphose there? No, they're just Fiery Tempering. Sure. Starting his Mountain Bolt, question mark. Exile some graveyards. My opponent finds another bolt, they can double bolt my Thought Knot. But then we're just kind of like sitting awkwardly at relative parity. And my opponent now has no... It's very little ability to cast Bedlam Reveler. Ooh, they did find it. Kind of annoying. But their deck is like a ton of lightning bolts. It's like weird half burn hybrid. Now we don't know anything in their hand. Alright. Not actually the worst. Assuming we get Blood Moon at some point. How's the league going? We're 1-1. We beat, what did we beat? Wow, second of Braid on the Vial. That's super rude. Opponent is drawing like running 3 damage spells. What did we beat? Round 1. Oh, we beat Junk, which was a good matchup. And we lost to Tron. We took them to 3, but they had Natron all 3 games. Ooh, that's a pretty good draw. I'll take this guy. I'll take this buddy. At least it deals them 2 if they bolt it. Go get him. It's beat down time, Comball. Is it dead time now, Comball? Hopefully it's my opponent casting Faithless Looting. Beatdown time continues. Good thing they abraded my Aether Vial for, like, actual no reason. This is the only Modern League you've done in a while. Yeah, I think since, like, two weeks ago was the last time I did a Modern League. Haven't played against this deck, haven't seen the rise of Dredge and Assassin's Trophies or anything. Last time I played Modern was when I got, like, Triple Terminus and died horribly. This one isn't forced to attack, right? So it's just not going to. So I have to path it. Dredge is pretty gross. Yeah, I went up to 3 Rest in Peace and like a Surgical on the board. Okay, they're just dead. Because if when I attack them, they go to 2 and they can't cast a non-creature spell, so they're pretty dead. Cool. I feel like Mono Red Steamkin's a pretty good matchup, unless you get like cheesed out by turn 2 Blood Moon on the draw. But it feels like a lot of your tools are good against a lot of their tools. Confused why Watsy would take the risk of making an obvious Dredge card. I mean, it didn't like soup up the deck. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think it like souped up the deck egregiously powerful. It's like Cathartic Reunion made Dredge really good, but it was a fine deck after they rebanned Grave Troll, because unbanning Grave Troll is a mistake. But they can print like pretty powerful cards for Dredge, and Dredge is still like... Dredge is a deck you're never going to lose to if you really don't want to lose to Dredge. The issue is that Modern is such a huge format Crippling Chill Lasco is the new dredge card. When you mill it, you basically lightning heal to your opponent's face for free. Anyway, the issue is that like people can't afford to really want to beat dredge because modern's such a huge format that you just don't want to be playing 4x rest in peace to beat dredge because you're missing sideboard slots for like your other matchups and stuff. Is my mouse actually fucking dead? Jesus. Yeah, guess I'll go get new batteries. I'll be right back. I'm not playing like 2 more games with the trackpad. That one game was already miserable enough. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some batteries. Alright, we're back with batteries now. Modern sideboards are way more pinch than like... Yeah, exactly. So it's not like Vintage, where you just like play 8 dredge cards and you're fine that dredge exists. The issue is that, oh, you decide you want to beat dredge today. Well, now you're going to lose to like... Elves or Tron or... I'm trying to think of other decks that like don't use the graveyard, but like you want sideboard cards for. Thought I wasn't wearing pants. It's all good. I only sometimes don't wear pants while streaming. It's a nice feeling, but you know I have shorts on right now. All right. There we go. Mouse is back alive. Batteries. It'd be interesting to see a poll of like how many streamers actually just like don't wear pants while they're streaming. Imagine for streamers that sit here for like long, like very long stretches of time, not wearing pants would be super comfortable. Just like way more comfortable than actually wearing pants. Put these batteries probably in this drawer right here. Good place to put them for when my mouse dies again. All right. Oh, this hand is loose. It was a good look at them. Sport shorts are pretty comfortable. Just not gonna stream 10 hours. Jeez, that sounds psychotic. This hand is loose, but decent. On the play, like, I don't hate it, but there are a lot of times where I keep this hand and then you never hit a 3rd lane drop and die. But if we do hit a 3rd lane drop, this hand is very, very good. Oh, we're gonna desk the majority of 8 hours wearing jeans. Yeah, same. Sometimes I wear, like, suit pants, like, more dressy pants, but my work does not really care, and a lot of times I just, like, wear jeans and a polo. It's the same deck? Am I supposed to assume, like, it's Mono-Red Steamkin over Burn? Ooh, whatever it is. We're just jamming Thalia over Arbiter. I think most of the Mountain Pass decks are going to be decks that I want Thalia in play over an Arbiter. You can't bolt that, opponent. You're gonna have to... I'm gonna, like, gut shot it. Alright, yeah, it is the Mono-Red Steamkin deck, huh? It's like the old list, too. I don't think these lists play Gutshot anymore. More recent lists. But I'm looking at an old list that plays 2x Gutshot, so... But I'm gonna burn me out here. Wow, what a misplay. Should have led with Arbiter. Gotta play around that Gutshot. Discarding a Phoenix is definitely scary, because we don't really have any good plans to beat it. And they could easily triple spell this turn. Yeah, Fiery Temper into 1 mana spell, get back Arclight. Ooh, sweet. They don't have a 3rd spell. That's very good for me. This is what I was talking about with the whole keep a 2-lander and just never hit a 3rd land, because that's the story of my life. I just like constantly keep 2-landers and always miss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they could have cast a... I'm not going to Ghost Quarter myself for this Tidal, though. Also, I can't because I have an Arbiter in play, but... So they don't have a Bedlam Reveler. What do they have in hand, then? Is it just, like, rituals and more lands? Could be, like, a risk factor, maybe, that they're going to cast on my end step? I'm taking 4 damage like nobody's business. Have risk factor to deal 4 damage. I mean, yes. Could Ghost Quarter them, but that seems astoundingly loose. I'll take another 4 off this risk factor. Does put me into triple bolt range. Is this... This is just another one from the hand, so this is starting to get dangerous. I think I have to start letting them draw 3. Oh, fuck. Well, I think we just lose this one. Discard a 2nd Arclight. Oh, God. Alright, we only need to hit him 8 more times with this Leonin Arbiter. Because we're just actually never going to draw a 3rd land. This is just like Bolt My Face Arclight lethal, right? You know what? I'll take it. Wait, no, they can just cast another Arclight, right? Because they cast Desperate Ritual already. So it doesn't matter. Oh, well, that works too. I wonder if it's time for like Core Firewalker to come back. If this deck and Burn are just like the flavor of the month. It'll probably have dropped off by the time I actually come back around playing Modern, though, so... I think those were my cuts last time. Seems fine. Alright, I would love to play first. This hand feels kind of loose, except for we have double basic and Ghost Quarter. And we have like a push for a Steamkin. I'm inclined to keep this. This hand could definitely pretty easily lose, but I really don't like getting like cheesed out by Blood Moon, so... Although, I guess if they play Blood Moon, we're still just not casting this Thought Knot, so... Oh, Shamleygun's not bad. I shouldn't have 6. They could easily Steamkin here. Hello, Exra. How's it going? It's just like more bolts to my face. Yep. It would be really sad if they just like turn 3 Blood Moon me, but I also wouldn't be super surprised. Not turn 3 Blood Moon is nice. This is comp or casual? This is comp. I think I always play comp. The Steamkin deck seems to be like pretty flavor of the month. I'm at 11. I think I let them draw 3 cards just so I can like thought not like take my pick. This is a new burn deck. Yeah, it's the Mono Red Steamkin deck. It's like some weird like bolt. Shrine of Burning Rage. What the heck is my opponent doing? They have another risk factor, which is kind of scary. Shrine of Burning Rage is exceptionally slow. I think I might just take this other risk factor. Notably, they can discard. If they like land, they can like land, risk factor, discard Fiery Temper me, or like get its Arclight in the graveyard. Because like Arclight doesn't feel bad, but I think it's just the risk factor. Flavor of the Week more accurately with empty Geo Meta Shift rates. That's fair. We're gonna just take that risk factor. Me, Matt, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. We can start, like, just animating Shambling Vent and gaining life. Hopefully that's enough. So they drew Mountain. Would have grabbed Temper. I don't really know, like, how much I care about this Bolt. We're at 11. We have a Shambling Vent in play. This Risk Factor represents just a lot more damage. Especially because we get to exile it with the Thought Knot. They cast Manamorphose. So they could flashback. I don't know if they're just shrining. Then Steamkinning. So their hand is Arclight, Temper, Unknown. So we can Fatal Push, Steamkin. Could Animate Vent, but I kind of want to just Tide Hollow. Take this Temper now. Maybe I take the Phoenix. I could eventually, like, crack Ghost Quarter, push the Phoenix, which isn't great, but... Anger of the God. Wait, is this is postboard, right? I guess that makes sense. I kind of forgot that this was postboard. Anger of the God seems pretty horrifying. If I take the Fiery Temper, they Anger of the Gods, then they can, like... No, they can't quite. They don't have mana to do all that stuff, but... I think I just let them have the Bolt take the Anger. God, this is tough. So they have to, like, Fiery Temper my Tide Hollow to get an Anger back. Fiery Temper my face, but we're not, like, dying to that immediately. Unfortunate thing is my opponent casts Risk Factor Pitching Temper and, like, bolts my face. Then we have to let them draw another 3. But if they draw some other way of, like, bolting, then we really don't want them to, like, Anger into bolt this Thought Knot. I don't know. This is a tough one. I guess they could always just have, like, if I take the Anger, they can just they can just Risk Factor, Fiery Temper, the Tide Hollow, get the Anger back, and then set it for, like, Anger plus Bolt. So I guess we take the Fiery Temper and hope to get a little bit lucky. If I leave the Steamkin in play, it incentivizes them to not cast Anger this turn yet. They drew land for turn. So I could cast an Arclight Phoenix. And then we're probably just double Fatal Pushing. What's up, Palladian? How's it going? Doing pretty well. Sitting 2-1 in this league, but this game's looking a little bit dicey. Casting Arclight Phoenix. So Shrine of Burning Red trigger, sure. Steamkin, whatever trigger, sure. Arclight Phoenix trigger, sure. they have one card in hand and it's Anger the Gods. This deck's interesting, Palladian. It's kind of cool. I think this matchup is pretty good for me, but I guess time will tell. So they have a 3-mana card in hand. And this costs 3 mana, so we can just go score to them with no. Is this another one of this deck? Yes. So we just go score to them with like no repercussions. Yes. Very popular and cheap, makes for a pretty playable deck. I wouldn't call it Storm, it's more like Burn, but it is very cheap for what that's worth. Well, not really the time to draw the Settle the Wreckage, that's for sure. So yeah, it's like a weird like burn iteration. They can actually like Shrine my Thought-Knot if they want, but I don't know if they want to do that. Ooh, 6 mana. That means they can actually just Anger into Temper my Thought-Knot, which is terrible for me. This Shrine goes up to like 900 counters. I was hoping they wouldn't hit 6th land. A reason that we could have taken, like, the... Oh, wait, they're Shrining? Deal. That feels pretty good for me. Well, these draws are not very good for me, though. So now we have to play around my opponent having the Bolton hand from my Shambling Vent, so we can't just, like, animate this willy-nilly. Ooh, Athalia. It's a threat, at least. I wonder if we do just, like, animate this and attack in. Eat the Bolt. The Death Shadow Zoo deck that's popped up with Assassin's Trophy and Pelt Collector. Have I? I don't think I've seen, like, Death Shadow Zoo specifically. I've seen, like, the weird Zoo decks with Pelt Collector and, the Lava Spike guy. Whatever, the, Vexing Devil. It'd be cool to try out if you have most of the pieces for it. Ooh, Risk Factor Triggering Madness. That's pretty sick. Yeah, I've seen, like, the Naya Zoo versions. As soon as it's killing Thalia, yep. I am 100% just going to take 4. I will happily take 4 damage, opponent. The issue is that if they find a Bedlam Reveler, we're pretty fucked. Well, that makes me nervous. Oh, this is fine. Please, no Bedlam Reveler. So they have no more? They're Hellbent? Yep, just gonna keep taking damage. Oh shit, that's an Arclight Phoenix! F5, F5! I didn't know there was an Arclight Phoenix. Oh well. Good thing we have to settle the wreckage. Totally almost F6 through that. Whew. That would have been embarrassing. Totally forgot there was an arc light in the graveyard. Thought I F6 through that. Small panic attack, but it's fine now. Missing Goif's to show Assassin's Trophies. Oh, yeah, maybe you shouldn't build it then. Unless you're on, like, MTGO or something, then the price might be different, but seems like a lot to be missing. Please, no. Damn it! This is like the actual one card we didn't want them to draw. And beat, like, every other card in their deck. Just, like, hope they don't have any bolts in hand for my Shambling Vent. Six pretty powerful considering how much health you gain in this game. We only gain like 6, right? And they have cast 5 risk... Or no, did we exile one of these with Thought Knot? Yeah, they've cast 4 risk factors, and we've just like taken damage from all of them, so... This Bedlam is putting me in the ground here. Well, I hope they don't have another burn spell, but it feels like they do. Yep, would have been nice to, like, not have Bedlam into Bolt, because that's, like, the literal only thing that kills me, but... You got me, opponent. Match 5. It's gonna be a quick freaking league if I'm just playing as that deck twice. Get turn 3 Karn 3 games in a row. I do think that matchup's, like, probably pretty good for this deck. We got pretty unlucky towards the end of that game, and then our mana did not want to cooperate for game 1. People keep telling me to run the Risk Factor in Scred and not Frenzy. Risk Factor seems really bad in Scred. They just, like, always take 4, right? Because you're just not pressuring them nearly as much. The only creatures they have is Phoenix, Bedlam, or Bedlam, Phoenix, Steamkin. Yeah, I think so. The first one we played against had like a Swift Spear in the deck, but I don't think that's super common. This hand's painful, but probably good enough. Like, get roasted by the 3rd Steamkin deck and take a bunch of damage off caves. Alright, is this actually Dredge? Played Dredge 24 days ago. Yep, Dredge. Alright, so we're just like very rarely beating this deck. So it's good against Steamkin to take advantage, but I think all my decks suck against it. I feel like Mono White probably has a pretty good Steamkin matchup. You just play like Core Firewalkers and Rest in Pieces. Let's hope they don't have a second land. It would be nice. One time. Only fetches in hand. Boo. Never lucky. And they just cast Loam for a bunch of lands. Alright, so the Ghost Quarter plan's off the table. My Dredge matchup for Scred got so much worse with Creeping Shield. Yeah, it seems like really, really rough now because they can just Conflagrate you to death, right? If they just Conflagrate you for 8 total, then they just have to mill 4 Creeping Shields and you lose. Canonist and Idol. Yeah, like the Storm Hate cards. Eidolon seems pretty nuts because they just like can't take it off the board. Canonist less so because they just have like 900 bolts, but Eidolon, I think they just can't kill. We don't want to devote too much to the board because it's going to flag rate, but we want to put pressure on them. I don't think their hand is super relevant. I think they were just casting like a Cathartic Reunion instead of the Slow-Mo if they had something. So I think I just wanted to play a Displacer. They hit a Thug. They hit a Creeping Chill and an Archamoeba. Yeah, you have to like counter the triggered ability too. It's not like you may cast this from the yard if you mill it. Cast it for free. It's just like actual triggered ability. Is this Conflagrate my board? I would not be surprised. This is like a pretty conflagratable board. Should have played the Caves instead of the Ghost Quarter. In case we drew like an Eldrazi Temple, we could Sculler into Strangler. Yeah, it definitely feels like a Conflagrate. Yep. Discarding how many Prized Amalgams? 2? That's horrifying. I guess putting Creeping Chills back in their graveyard doesn't do anything, right? Gary Thug says put a creature on top, so yeah. Yeah, that's correct, Palladian. They just like kill this Archamoeba. So as soon as they hit an Archamoeba or Bloodghast, I think we just lose. But we're just like not winning this game, game 1. Just straight up. Ooh, an Archamoeba. That seems pretty strong. Another Archamoeba. Pretty good. Another Conflagrate. What was that, 16? Probably time to concede. Take a look on the way out. I might like know just the last card in their hand. It might just be lands. Oh, they have a Creeping Chill in hand. Notably, I guess they can. You can actually just like cast that for 4 at some point. But yeah, we're super dead. We're just. I don't think there are a lot of time. The only way we win game 1 is if you like get to cheese them with mana denial, which we did not do. Game 2 is where we get to board in. That. And board out. Flicker Wisps. I guess Wasteland Stranglers kind of suck in this matchup. Strangling anything seems not great. Most of the cards that you put in their exile, you do not want them to come back. Creeping Chill makes that decision a little bit different, but not by much. I think it's just mostly just to find Rest in Peace and hope they don't blow it up. Welcome to Dredge the Gathering. Find your hate cards, cross your fingers. Alright, keep. Rest in Peace into Thought Knot. Pretty good. What are they going to discard? Probably just slamming this Rest in Peace regardless, but yeah, 2 Dredgers. Shalai New Edition, or have you been running it? I've been playing Shalai like since it got printed in Dominaria. I think it's like a really good addition to this deck. If I led with a Temple and like I could like second Temple into Thought-Knot on turn 2, I might have played that. Oh, there's Concede, cool. Just the Thought-Knot on turn 2 instead to like clear the path for a Nature's Claim or something, but man, just fucking run it back. Hope we just draw more resto pieces again. Welcome to Dredge. You lose game 1s all the time, but if you board on a bunch of hate cards, then you can win games 2 and 3s. All the variants are black, white, and purple. I think Shalai is really good in most of the variants, especially green, white, obviously, because you can activate the ability. But I've been playing it in mono white, black, white, and green, white a lot. But I haven't really played a lot of green, white, or mono white recently, just because I like this deck a lot. I've been meaning to try out green, white lists since Night of Autumn got printed, but I just like haven't bought into the cards yet. I'll probably be messing around with it in the month after Eternal Weekend, because I have an RPTQ in December. I need to figure out what deck I'm playing for Modern in it. This hand does not have the requisite hate cards. Also, just not having colored mana. This hand has the requisite hate cards. I wonder if I bottom this for more hate. Yeah, probably. We have 2 lands. It's probably good enough. A Dark Blast, not Bloodghast. So they can dredge back this Dark Blast. I feel like TKS is kind of bad in this matchup. A lot of our cards are kind of bad in this matchup. At least TKS can block 3/3s and exile cards from their hand, both of which are things I want to do. I think my opponent wanted to play the looting first, right? If they flip, like, it didn't matter. They had an Archimeeba and another Bloodghast. They could have gotten, like, pretty punished. If they hit Prized Amalgams and not another reanimation guy. Well, that's not great. That is a pretty good hand from my opponent. Looting into looting Thoughtseize. Maybe we'll draw one of our other 2 rest in pieces. They also have Dark Blast in hand. So just like, this Thalia doesn't even block. Let's top deck another rest in peace. 2 out of 53. Dang. Never lucky. We can also do like the upkeep Dark Blast, Dredge Dark Blast to kill its Arbiter. They like have another black mana, or if they might just not even care enough. Yeah. They can just like beat the tar out of me now. Another Bloodghast. So now the plan is lose, I think. Cast Loam, plays a land, get back Bloodghast, get back second Amalgam. I think rip off the... We'd have to like rip off the top into a Settle the Wreckage to win now. Oh Jesus, that might not be even be enough now. Pretty good. Three more prized amalgams, huh? Alright, cool. Cool beans. We got. Dredge the Gathering. Alright. Where's my deck? Alright. Is this the whole thing now? Yeah. So yeah. Missed a lot of like weird weird metagame shifts in the MTGO meta, at least, in terms of like Dredge and this mono red Steamkin deck, which is kind of interesting. But I think the mono red Steamkin deck is a pretty good matchup for Eldrazi Taxes. We had some pretty bad luck there in the second match, and the first match is like a lot more indicative. We kind of crushed them games 1 and 3. Or I guess game 3 was less of a crushing, and we did have to like we ground out very weirdly. But game 2 we got Blood Mooned, and then still had a decent chance of surviving. And then yeah, welcome to Dredge. Dredge is the matchup that the reason I added a bunch more Graveyard Hate to the deck. I put in a 3rd Rest in Peace and a Surgical Extraction, and then we got Thought Seized, so we died. We had ripped both games, but you definitely just like mulligan to your Graveyard Hate. You're not beating Dredge other than that. And not a lot of decks are. So this is probably like my last dipping my toes into Modern for a while. I need to keep prepping for Legacy. And I just kind of wanted to mess around with this since I know a lot of people like the Modern content that I do here, and I wish I could do more, but I try to like just practice for the paper tournaments I have coming up. So there will be a bunch of Modern in November when I have to practice, figure out a deck that I want to play for RPTQ. But until then, if you are playing Modern out there, prep for Dredge, prep for the Steamkin deck if you want to play through leagues, because Steamkin decks I think that the Steamkin deck feels very flavor of the week, especially with Dredge running around, because I feel like Dredge like hates a lot of what you're doing. Like everyone's packing a bunch of Rest in Pieces and ley lines and stuff, and then you're just like you get a lot of the flack from that. But it's an interesting burn variant, and I think most of the burn variants are good matchups for Eldrazi Taxes. It's just that sometimes they can like cheese you out the Blood Moon, so try to play around that. What else do? We got turn 3 Karn a bunch, or turn 3 Tron a bunch, so not much to say about that matchup. We beat Abzan, which was pretty lucky, honestly. That matchup was probably the worst matchup we played today, and then we 2-0'd it. Not particularly close. The second matchup was closer, but anyway, that is gonna be it for tonight. I don't stream. Let's find someone to host before I give my spiel. Arkin, Romario. I'll host Arkin. Arkin's a cool guy. Comes into the chat fairly often. From the Czech Republic, I think. Plays a lot of Legacy, which I also enjoy playing. Anyhow, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. A little bit of a short stream. We played against Steamkin Dredge, and turn 3 Tron 3 games in a row, so definitely burn through those games quick, but that's nice sometimes. You get a pretty fast league. Also, my frames are dropping real fast all of a sudden, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, you enjoy Legacy, or you enjoy any sort of Death and Taxes content, Modern, Legacy, whatever, feel free to follow, subscribe, or donate. Follows are totally free, let you know when I'm going live, and help other people find my content. Subscriptions get you a sweet Thalia emote and Thraben-themed sub badge in the chat. And donations, I'd be more than happy to play a Death and Taxes list you want to see run through a league. If you want to see Modern, Legacy, different color splashes, whatever, just talk to me beforehand, and I'll see what I can do. Other than that, you can subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Twitter. YouTube is where all my streams go after they go live. I just immediately try to upload them to YouTube, so there's a ton of archived footage of Death and Taxes leagues in a bunch of formats if you want to go study up there. And Twitter is where I post when I'm going live, other Magic-based stuff like that. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed the stream. Go have fun at Arkin's stream, and I'll catch you guys all on Friday, because I don't stream Thursdays.